There's speculation swirling around the NFL with trade market murmurs about Joe Milton starts to emerge. The former Tennessee quarterback showcased his arm strength in his brief but impactful appearance with the Patriots, man. And he provided a glimpse into his potential as a quarterback in the National Football League. Now, Joe Milton stands at a towering 6'5", weighing 235 pounds. Paired with his arm, is nothing short of miraculous, man. I mean, I've never seen a guy with that level of talent and arm strength that you can see here in this video. Look at that. 80 yards, man. The perfect prospect that old Al Davis would have brought in. And Chip Kelly would probably go wild with a guy with that kind of talent.
So a lot of people are saying, what are the Raiders going to do at quarterback? With Pete Carroll taking over the Raiders, bringing in Chip Kelly, an offensive savant, you look up and down his roster, and there's a plethora of talent on the defensive side of the football. There's some pieces on the offensive side of the football. You have a generational talent that's looking in Brock Bowers, and you have a Jacoby Myers on that side of the football. You have a few pieces on the offensive line. People are wondering, what are the Raiders' option at quarterback? Now, they didn't bring Chip Kelly in to roll with Gardner Minshew and Aiden O'Connell. I don't think so, But when you start looking at where the Raiders sit in the hierarchy of having to draft a quarterback, the Raiders sit currently at the 6th pick. Now, could they move up? Yeah. Now, are the two teams at the top of the draft in desperate need? Actually, the first three teams in desperate need of a quarterback? Yeah. So the chances of the Raiders moving up in the top three and selecting their guy would be slim and none. And this is a pretty weak quarterback draft, right? So there has to be other options out there. Now, the quarterback market has some decent options. You have Justin Fields. You have Sam Darnold. You might be able to make a run at an older Russell Wilson, Daniel Jones. There are people that you can bring in and develop. But there's one name that you've heard me talk about in this short that I think could be a person just to have in the locker room. And that's Joe Milton. Now, Joe Milton is a guy that has a world of talent, arm talent, size, strength, athletic, but he's a guy that needs to be refined. And who better to refine that kind of talent than Chip Kelly? Now, Chip Kelly had another guy in college who won a Heisman Trophy. It was a second pick in a draft who has, a lot of, eye-popping ability, and that's Marcus Mariota back. And Chip Kelly being the kind of offensive mind he is and having the staff that we have in this building, I think it would behoove the Raiders to take a flyer on a guy like Joe. Now, it's funny because, former head coach of the New England Patriots, Gerard Mayo, kind of alluded to the way that Joe Milton was able to develop behind Drake May, being the fact that he was not able to really get any reps because he was the scout team quarterback. He was the emergency quarterback for most of the year. And, at the last game of the season, he was put in a situation where he started. He got the start and word of starting like really, really like probably right before the game. And, he went crazy. I mean, now keep in mind, this is a Buffalo Bills team that sat a lot of their starters because they kind of had their playoff destiny set. But Joe Milton went 22 for 29 and, threw for a touchdown, no interceptions. And, he had a great, showing. He had a great showing. Now, this is not me being a prisoner of the moment. This is me giving Joe Milton props for the fact that in his limited time to actually get out there and get snaps and, get reps in practice, he was able to make the most of his situation. Now, I alluded to Gerard Mayo. Gerard Mayo said, he's one of the top users of the virtual reality system that the New England Patriots have to develop quarterbacks. And, following Joe Milton's 6-year college career at Michigan and Tennessee, he is a guy who is an intriguing prospect. And I'm telling you, he offers a range of combination of skills, athletic ability, arm talent, and his ceiling is amongst the highest, that I've ever seen, right? Just from an athletic standpoint. So if you can have him come into the building, and not as the quarterback of the future, just somebody that's in our room to be developed by guys like Chip Kelly, having a coach like Pete Carroll who understands how to build a winning combination, having a Tom Brady at an arm's length. I think this is nothing but right now. So you ask yourself, what would it cost to bring a Joe Milton, right? What would it cost? Now, for me, I've seen some articles about, Joe Milton possibly fetching a third. I think that's kind of ludicrous, right? It's not kind of ludicrous. It actually is ludicrous. And a lot of this kind of stuff might just be the Patriots putting it out there to try to fleece everybody, right? So I've heard up to a third round pick. Now, Joe Milton was a 6th round pick. To me, that's organizational malpractice. But I can see the Raiders, being that we have a multitude of draft picks, maybe moving off of a 5th or a 4th round pick, or a pick that has some risers in it based off of his production and how many times he starts. Maybe you can get a 4th for Joe, right? And possibly another 4th next year if he takes a certain amount of snaps. But these are the kind of moves that the Raiders have to really keep into their purview. They have to, because it is not easy to locate quarterbacks in this league, and you have to leave no stone unturned when it comes to the quarterback position in this league, especially in the division that we're in. Now, I will say this. Do I think this is going to happen? No. But do I think the Raiders should take a flyer on bringing in one of the most physically talented quarterbacks in the league? Yes, I do. Will he need some refinement? You're absolutely right. Can the guy throw the ball a mile? Yes. Does he have problems completing short, intermediate passes? Yes. But the thing that makes me hopeful for him is the fact that he was able to develop under the circumstances he was in New England, where they clearly have their quarterback of the future in Drake May. Hey, guys, if you like what you see in this video, hit that like, hit that subscribe. We're on a race to 14K. Red Nation Unlimited. I'm your man, Wasted Talent. I am out.